Well, here we are once again. It is the Weighing Interjection Show, the show where the real punk Josh Thompson and I, John McCarthy, come to grips with the reality of what we think should be happening or what we think might be happening in the world of MMA. Excuse me, Josh, are you ready? You don't look ready.
I'm always ready, man. This is the show where I always win. This is all we talk about. Today, we're going to play a game called Forward Thinking. And when we do the Forward Thinking comments and the questions, I want you guys to comment down below on what you guys think of our forward thinking. Are we on track? Are we not on track? Or is there somebody that you would have thought in these positions? Because these three questions line up for 2022.
I wish I would have had some time for my forward thinking.
Yeah, I know. That's going to take you a while. Things are just stirring up in there. I got smoke coming on my ears. Dave hit us with some questions. I'm like, oh, man, this is going to be a rough one.
We're in trouble. Let's go, baby.
Let's get the ball rolling. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's get into the first topic. How does Islam versus Beneil shake up the lightweight division?
I think we've talked about this before. Look, Beneil is sitting at number 3 right now in the lightweight division. And you've got Islam sitting there right at 5'4", somewhere in there. This is going to be the one that puts Islam, if he gets the win, in position to fight the guy that is going to win, not the next championship fight, but the championship fight after that. Be it if Dustin Poirier beats Charles or Charles beats Dustin, whoever gets Justin Gaethje, and then you have it lined up with it being Islam either getting it or Beneil getting it. Because if Beneil beats Islam, he's locked in there too.
John, I'm telling you, we had talked about this. You said it right like a week ago. This is his way to jump right on Justin Gaethje if Islam wins. Says, you know what? Put your money where your mouth is, okay, before I shove my foot in your mouth. You and I are going to fight for the title shot. I'm going to beat Beneil right now. You just fought. I just fought. Guess what? The winner of our fight will fight for the title. You're not going to fight them before me, and I'm not going to jump you. Let's fight now and figure out who fights for the title. That's the only way that it makes sense. I mean, realistically, sure, Justin would like to get there before Islam, but if Islam wins, I'm telling you right now, look for him to call out Justin Gaethje.
I agree.
All right, with that, let's get into topic number 2. Khamzat versus everyone. What's going on?
What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. He's calling out Brock Lesnar, saying whoever leaves the cage first, whatever, something along those lines. Then DC, let's do it in a wrestling match. George St. Pierre, the legend versus the up-and-comer. I mean, John, you and I have said this for the last couple of weeks. I love what he's doing, man. He's bringing on all these new little ideas for people to promote themselves. But also, he has done it a little disrespectful from before. He was a little disrespectful in some of his earlier stuff. This is very respectful. Like, hey, let's just get out there and do a wrestling match. Hey, let's get out there and let's fight. Let's see what happens, and who leaves the cage first. I like how this approach I can get behind. There's no trash, not really trash talking. There's a little bit of that, but it's civil, and I like the class of it.
I love it. I think what he's doing is fantastic because it doesn't matter. Look, is Brock going to come out and smash him? No. Okay. Could Brock come out and smash him? There's a reason there are weight classes. Yes. Okay. And yes, Brock doesn't like getting punched. He doesn't have to get punched. He's going to grab a hold of someone and start just mauling them. But I love what Khamzat's doing. It's perfect. I love when he went after DC, and I love what DC did in response. 10-0 DC. But you got to love a guy that is confident enough to say, you know what? I will take you on in whatever you want.
That's awesome.
All right, and with that, we're going to get in topic number 3 and play some forward thinking. You guys are going to make some predictions for the future. It's not so much predictions as it is more your opinions, but let's get pretty close. With question number 1 being, what would be the most shocking but realistic jump from promotion to promotion in 2022?
All right,
John,
if you're going to go ahead. I'm sorry, go.
John, I think we're going to go back to, who we had Sean Brady on. I think not Sean Brady himself, but he talked a little bit about Eddie Alvarez, him moving over at 1. I potentially could see Eddie Alvarez jumping back either to Bellator or going to Ryzen, where he was already in Japan fighting from before, maybe even potentially going back to the UFC. I could see him being all around. Who knows? Sean, I think that there might be something there. Sean didn't say much, but there might be something there.
I don't know. I agree with you. I think Eddie Alvarez is one person I think we're going to be making a jump. But if you're going to take a look and say realistically, what is someone that could jump right now? I'm telling you right now, Francis Ngannou. That's a guy that can make the jump. That's a guy that could leave his promotion. If he does not beat Cyril Gane, I see him leaving the UFC and going elsewhere because he's not happy with the way he's been treated. I do think that could be a possibility if you see Cyril Gane taking that belt away from him.
Question number 2. What would be your biggest 2022 Fight Week pay-per-view main event for the UFC?
Man, you got me on this one. I got to think about this. That's the problem. I didn't get a time to prep for these questions. The biggest pay-per-view that we could potentially make in 2022 coming back?
Come on. It's simple.
Go ahead. Tell me. Talk to me, Goose.
I think we've got 2. First off, everyone wants to see one fight because they're tired of it. They want to see the guy, Aljamain Sterling, who won the title against the guy, Peter Yan, who became the interim champion. They think that's twisted around. You got a lot of people that want to see that fight. The other fight that I think people really want to see, we just talked about it. They want to see Islam Makhachev against Justin Gaethje. That's the fight people want to see because now they're going after each other. Now there's some hostility, and now they want to see, can Islam do exactly what Khabib did?
I'm going to say anything to do with Islam in it is going to do well, especially now after if he beats Beneil. The stock is rising. He's going to be in the top 3. I think Islam is going to do well in terms of his pay-per-views after this. Now, after that, I'm at a loss for words, man. I really am at a loss for words. I have no idea who else I would like to see in that whole category of the fights. I'm excited. I mean, I know it's not a pay-per-view, but I'm excited to see how this whole... Oh, never mind. I won't even talk about that, okay? We'll have to wait till next time. Sorry. Right. I got to wait until announcements are done. That's why. I got to wait till announcements are done. There's a lot of information I can't give up, and I got to wait till they're announced.
You almost stepped right in the middle of that.
I almost just did.
Question number 3. Which realistic retirements would shock the MMA community in 2022?
Realistic retirement. My God.
Man, I know he hasn't fought in a long time. But realistically, if he finally came out and said, "Look, I'm retiring," would be Zabit. Like, to me, that would. I'm still holding on that he's coming back, and I've heard that he's back training. His issues or whatever his health issues were, they're coming around. He's feeling a lot better. That would surprise me if he finally announced that he was retired.
All right, I'm going to go with one or the other. It doesn't matter. I'll say the Diaz brothers. Let's be honest. That would be a shock to the community because no one believes that they'll ever retire, even though Nick, for a long time, was, sitting on the bench not doing anything. He never retired. But if Nate or Nick officially retired, I think that would shock the MMA community because they believe that they're going to be around there forever.
I'm going to throw one more in there.
Let's
I'm going to say this because it would shock everyone. Be Rose Namajunas. Because she has that vibe about her that, like, fighting.
She could leave at any time.
She could leave at any time. She loves what she does. Remember there's comments, I think, after one of her fights that she just said, like, I don't know if I'm going to do this much longer. She said something along those lines that fighting really wasn't as important to her. And I think it was after she had beat Joanna. And it just wasn't as big of a priority. And so I could see her potentially being like, look, I've made a ton of money. I'm good. If she gets 1 or 2 more wins, I can see her potentially walking away in 2022. Now, this is all just speculation, guys. That we're just really making predictions. This is all just forward thinking. But, I mean, I could see her. That would be like one of the shockers. I think it'd be a real shock if she walked away.
That'd be
all right, let me give you guys the correct answers. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Let's hear it.
Let's get into topic number 4. Where does Kevin Lee fit now following his cut from the UFC?
John, I can tell you exactly where he fits.
Where?
He fits right into the triad, triangle, triller stuff that's going on right now. That's exactly where he fits. I don't think you see him in Bellator. I don't think you see him
I don't think so either.
You could potentially see him in Ryzen. That might be a fun little avenue for him to try and for him to run down. I could see him potentially headed that direction. I don't see him going to PFL, and I don't see the UFC working back with him. Now, I think if he did leave and let's say he went to Ryzen, had success there, and him making the way to whatever it was he decides to do and finally getting together on where he wants to be, I could see the UFC potentially trying to bring him back later on because they did like him. They do have a thing for him in terms of they like how he is.
I think the PFL is the place for Kevin Lee. I think that's where everything is. You just take a look. Like he works out at Extreme Couture. He did go up to TriStar, but he still was doing things. He knows guys there. I just think that the PFL is the place that you're going to see Kevin Lee land. I would be surprised if it would be somewhere else.
Would he be at 170 or would he be at 155? Because guys like Clay Collard are a bad matchup for him. Guys, I mean, Anthony Pettis is a bad matchup for him.
You're taking a look and you're saying it could be, either weight class. That's up to him, but he's got to make weight.
Yeah, but you looking like what? Ray Cooper? No.
No.
Yeah, that's not the guy you want to fight.
No.
You know what I mean? So he's got to make a
decision.
decision on 55 or 70. I don't know where he's going to fit into that whole mix and that blend.
Yep.
Okay, let's get into the fifth and final topic. Are new pop-up mainstream promotions an issue for the UFC?
Did he say issue?
Issue? Is it an
That
issue?
would be an issue. All right.
10 seconds wasted.
That's all right. Look at the pop-up promotions, Triad, all the stuff with, the boxing and stuff like that. It's just part of combat sports. Do I think the Triad, as we would say, Rampage Jackson says, the UFC and Bellator, they better be looking out. Bullshit. Okay, just so you know, if you're fighting in a Dorito chip-sized ring, all right, there's probably a gimmick there. They should call it the Dorito ring, and they should get a sponsorship if they were smart. Cool Ranch or Fiery Nachos or something. But come on, it's a gimmick. What are they doing? They're doing a gimmick. It's, again, a lot of MMA fighters taking on boxers in a different little rule set. It's all fine, but when you're putting a guy like Frank Mir against Puliev, come on, man. You're not trying to be competitive there. You're trying to have an accident, and the train wreck happened.
Well, John took up all the time.
Sorry
it's
about
okay.
that.
Look, no, it's all right. Mine's going to be short and sweet anyways. I think all this is an avenue for the fighters that still have something left in the tank to go ahead and make some money on the backside. Mike Perry, Derek Campos had great fights that night, very entertaining. I love those two guys' fights and the way that they fought. I think it's a great avenue for them to go ahead and make money on the outside of that upper echelon of fighters.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
that's going to wrap us up for this week's Weighing Interjection.
We want to thank you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this show. Hit the subscribe button down below in our links channel. We want to thank you, and the bell as well. If you guys hit those two things, thank you so much. And hopefully we had some fun on this show. I know John and I came very unprepared today because Dave flashed on us with these questions last minute.
That's
Got
the
too
joy
much
of this
going.
show. That's the joy of this show.
That's the joy of the show. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much. Hit the subscribe button, and we will see you next time. Right, John?
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.